break, you got yourself hydrated, a couple of snacks, because we've got a big series coming up next. Best of two between TALON and Shopify and Wagga. As we start to round out day 3 here, we do look towards possibilities of tiebreakers, relegation, things like that. How are both these teams standing so far?
Yeah, I mean, TALON have had an absolutely amazing run so far, I want to say, in this groups. They're 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 single loss. So they're not at the absolute top. They're 3rd in the group right now, but that is a good spot after BetBoom and Aster, who both have been looking very, very strong as well. Shopify Rebellion, though, only 4 draws, no win to their name, and 1 loss as well. This is not a good spot to be in. We are finishing up things here. They did lose to BetBoom, which is, the number 1 team. So their loss is at least against, a strong team. But they need wins here. And they're going up against Talon and Aster, the 2 and 3rd spot of the group.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a tough one. And Talon, one of these teams that really does show up when the stakes are high. We've seen them during DPC maybe slip up a little bit, not making it to Bali. But I think back to Lima Major, I think back to some of these performances they put up elsewhere. They can absolutely, take games and series off of some of these big contenders, which Shopify qualifies for, right? This is the old EG roster. These are the kind of old guard of NA that are meant to be a real top team. But difficulties face them as the level of Dota in general has just been rising so much over the past couple of years. Everyone's, S tier level now, it feels like.
Yeah, Dota is an ever-evolving game. I mean, I played this game for like 2 decades now, more than half my life, and honestly, every single year it keeps getting better. Things just sharpen up even more, and very true at the professional level as well. These players have to fight to stay at the top. Normally, if we think back to like Crit, Fly, Abed, these players, just all of them massive names, but they're not doing as hot as their counterparts here, who are also not any no-namers, of course. Mikoto been owning this tournament so far. Jabs playing really solid. The team of Talon have just really looked like that, a team. They have moved together really well. They played with intention. Excited to see what they're going to do here.
I think that's precisely it. We think back to Southeast Asia as a region that there's always been kind of hot and cold. We had the old Fnatic and TNC get like top 6 at previous TIs and really show up, but not have that consistency. And I remember talking to Winter at Lima, and he said this is the first Southeast Asian team that's looked like a team in a long time. Right. They are so, concise with their moves. They like that flow of play. Potential for some maybe slip-ups here and there individually, but as an actual unit, they look very solid.
Yeah, Talon have, really showed that they find each other on the map in a good way. They coordinate, they understand where to play, where not to play, and punish weaknesses that they can identify. So a team that, the biggest description I would have for them is that they just play with intention. There's a game plan, there's something. You're not just idly farming, which is probably what Winter was referring to. A lot of olden Southeast Asian teams, star players in them, like top-level MMR players, but not always with a clear plan of like, when are we gonna explode, when are we gonna win, and then it can look a little bit like you're just there for the ride. You're not really sure where this is going, but
passenger
Talon,
on the ship.
Yeah, Talon definitely not like that. They're the captains of their own journey here.
Well, first up, Timbersaw grabbed up by Shopify, so we see the Silencer, Ember, Io, and Naga all banned out. And that Silencer pick has been something that's utilized a lot against this Timbersaw, alongside these Rubiks that can definitely, from the support role, handle the Timber's early momentum. And a Batrider pick as well.
We see Batrider, might see Undying or Rubik come in here as well. I like the Rubik against Timbersaw. I think it's worked out really well. Batrider also just a hero that keeps being impressive here overall. I think the hero is, starting to get more and more attention by teams as he keeps winning. The hero is just a solid first phase pickup. You can put it support, put it core. Either of them work really well.
Yeah, just new realms of discovery. Thinking back to old Bat, where it was Blink, Force, BKB every single game. And now we've had this, shift out from offlane to mid to position 4 Bat. The Boots of Bearing build about a year ago. Now this Boots of Travel BKB. It just makes him feel so much more consistent, not just in-game with item build, but in the draft, having flexibility. He's up there with like all-time heroes, it feels like. Rubik, Batrider. the identity of Dota relying on some of these sort of consistently picked and banned contested.
To me,
the word, contested heroes.
Yeah, to me, the number one. If you think Dota 1 and Dota 2 competitive scene, which hero has been the most reliably turned to by pro players in captain's mode, then Batrider is definitely up there. He's always been relevant. Pretty much never had a really bad patch. And I like the way that he's played right now. Let's touch a little bit more on it. The item builds that you mentioned, the shift around. Now, it's harder to prevent losing to Batrider because he's not predictable in the whole Blink Dagger, Force Staff. He's gonna go and look for kills. Yeah, he might just be farming. Batrider might just be on the Ancients. He might be on the bottom side of the map, top side, who knows? Or he might be smoked up and joining for a gank. That's the dangerous part. You don't know when the lasso is gonna come. Previously, it was just like, oh, look out for lasso, guys, because he's somewhere, I guess. But now he's farming. He's chilling.
Yeah, just accelerating further and further ahead. Nice, yeah. Yeah, it's a scary prospect to face up against. And now it's like the double-barrel shotgun. You've got Batrider and Storm, tons of magic damage, good solid lanes, and that ability to jump and catch targets quickly.
Yep, and Storm against Timbersaw, good pick as well. Lots of magic damage, more control. We saw this used very effectively before against Timber as well. But good reaction by Shopify, I'll say Spotify there.
Almost.
Yeah, good old playlist busting out the puck here against the Storm. It's good matchup for Puck. Obviously, you get some lockdown, some control, get silence, and the leash able to keep the Storm from leaving. So interesting opening for Shopify, going for what looks very guaranteed to be a 2-core opening. Talon, of course, that could still be true, but they could also put support bat.
And they absolutely could. I mean, Shopify having to cover a few more bases here. Pugna, Morphling. A bit of focus on 23s. And primary hero there, the Morphling. And Pugna with that Storm, even though it's been nerfed, still has that capability to keep him out on the map, be annoying, and we always have this Pugna pressure into towers, which often feels like Timbersaw suffers against, because he wants to be the one at your tower, not being pushed back to his.
Yes, it's also not just that, but the Nether Ward is a big component to this too. You're playing Timbersaw and Puck. Nether Ward can mess with your Blink Dagger a lot when you're playing Puck. You might want to go Blink Dagger on Timber as well, which it could obviously be annoying for, but more so the damage you take just by casting spells near it. Very obnoxious, so I think it's a smart ban. Get rid of the Pugna. Don't leave that in the pool here.
And Medusa gone as well. Earth Spirit, always an interesting one. Has gone back to being more of a hero, a player specialist kind of hero. And you've got Crit on the side. You don't want to be handing that over to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Curious, have they played at this event so far? Because I don't remember seeing it pop up.
We haven't really been following Shopify in our games. We've been covering a lot of other teams, so I haven't actually kept my eye on Shopify, what they've been up to. We'll have to check after the game.
Don't see it on the Dota buff. Don't even see any bans of it. So just something there that Talon have got, in their heads.
Makes sense. I mean, Earth Spirit is not really a predominant support right now. It's not a hero that people turn to. But a hero that is, there he is again, the most picked hero of the tournament. The Rubik joins the field here again. Very nice against Puck. You get instant disable in the lift. Also good against Timbersaw. Great spells to steal this game. Tons of damage. Long cast range on it. Even Timber Chain is a fantastic option for Rubik.
Yeah, and he often feels quite free with his item build as well. We've seen a couple of players, I think Kaka yesterday, buying Spirit Vessel as the rushed item. You can think about Force Staff, Glimmer, try and get out of Coil, get away from Timber. Sure. Lots of ways that Rubik can build into.
Yeah, definitely. And, it allows them to have a little bit more setup here, because it can be hard for Batrider to get a grab onto the puck, perhaps, or for Storm to zip in and catch him. But now all you need is that, even a level 1, level 2 telekinesis might be long enough for Storm to follow up, for Lasso to maybe connect. The chain stun potential here is coming in from Talon. Shopify, want to see a little bit what they're going to do here, seeing the Rubik Batrider Storm. I'm thinking that this could be a game where they could consider playing a Bloodseeker core even, just off of the fact that there's Batrider and Rubik in the game.
That could be a way to go. With a double core pickup though, it's time to start looking at your supports a little bit. I think about what Fly wants to play with no Undying, no Sky, a Crits hero pool touched a little bit there as well. There's no IO either, right? So there's Shadow Demon, Lion, Keeper of the Light.
There goes Spammy. Interesting. So Disruptor, great there for locking down the Storm and also to stop the Batrider potentially. But the Caudal is interesting. This is a heavy nuke lane that they're going to play. The Timber, I suppose, is going to be laning together with the Caudal on the off lane. And that would be a good way for just shoving under enemy tower. And Timber does pretty well to just tank up and go aggressive with the dives. We'll see what carry Talon want to put against that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the, normal ideal combo with a Chakra into, Terrorblade or an Ember Spirit, but Puck and Timbersaw, reasonably low cooldown, still thrive with that additional cooldown reduction and mana pumped into them.
Still no saying that they wouldn't go for Terrorblade. He's not banned out yet, so Talon might have to consider removing that, because that combination that you're hinting at, the Metamorphosis with Chakra, get low cooldown on it, it's basically resetting an ultimate, how valuable it is, and could be a hero that while he can die in Chrono, he's still a force to be reckoned with in team fights here.
Well, that goes the Darks here, so even more credence to that, right? even more of a red flag saying, hey, Illusion Hero potentially coming at the last spot.
It certainly could be. They're kind of protecting it. And the Faceless Void pickup for Talon. I suppose that they're last picking their support, unless this is going to be a switch up with the Batrider. To ban out the TB here. Get rid of it. They don't want to have that Metamorphosis cooldown reset.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jab's last pick, as usual. He loves to leave himself to the very end. He's been one of these primary offlane players that have brought that greedy carry style to the offlane for quite some time. You think back to his Nargissar in offlane just a year ago. He does like to pick those. There's Meepo most recently, of course. Is that a hero that could make an appearance here? An offlane Meepo for Jabs?
Oh, it's a bit much AoE stuff. Like the AoE silence from Disruptor and Puck. Timber does a lot of damage into the Meepo as well. They still ban it though, so interesting.
Deserves respect no matter what.
Yeah, certainly an annoying hero to play into, and they did run it before. We saw it. Jabs was very effective at running around and ganking with it. Was impressed with how they did it, and I mean, Talon, interesting to see that they went for this Storm Rubik again against the Timbersaw. Because it was Talon, right? They played a Storm Rubik and Silencer against Timbersaw last time we cast them, I think.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah. So they have their preferred picks.
Yeah, they do. And this Faceless Void, it feels, as these bans go on, like even better of a pick than we first looked at. Thinking about this TB ban, maybe get rid of the Templar Assassin gone. Some of these heroes that don't like getting gap closed, you start to think Shopify, like their Lunas and Drow Rangers, can definitely suffer to getting jumped and chronoed up. It makes it a difficult spot in this last pick for them, especially going blind into the final pick for Talon.
They ban out the TA. I think that could definitely have been an option here for Shopify Rebellion. A lot of good options being removed. I mean, we could see them go for something like a peel attempt here, but it's scary into the Chrono. You might just get caught, locked down and actually bashed down by the Mjolnir Faceless Void at some point. I'm not sure you want to play that.
Yeah, it's like no matter what you pick, you're looking at a Doom or a Faceless Void or something. You're like, well, there's nothing that's good against this ulti. This ulti is always going to counteract what I've built up. All my net worth goes down the drain inside the bubble.
The Pakas style carry Legion, I gotta go with something wild now.
Lycan!
It's a bit wild, a little bit wild. Lycan, another hero that has been shining quite a lot and does pretty well here in this Riyadh Masters. I can't remember top of my head what his win rate has been, but it's been somewhere in the 65-70%, I think. Yeah, he's overall looked very impressive. Obviously, teams kind of tend to pick him when it's a good game. 72.7% win rate at 20 games. I think this is a good game for it. It's a hero that doesn't really care too much about Chrono, because you split up your wolves and your main hero, send your Dominator and your wolves over in one direction, your hero another direction. Make it hard for Faceless Void to go in. And even if you go on Lycan, he might just have built an AC or something. Pretty hard to bash down.
Yeah, and he's got a bit of protection from Blinding Light, Glimpse, and Static Storm. They can, throw spells into the Chrono to stop Void and the rest of them doing too much to him. Yeah, like in one of those kind of weird heroes that doesn't necessarily like short fights, doesn't like super long ones. It's that middle ground where he wants to get a lot done in 30 seconds or so.
Okay, so they get the last pick tied to lane against the Lycan, trying to get a favorable matchup there and have the support of the Batrider as well. So Lycan should be struggling a bit on that lane. At the same time, though, I think it's just such a good Lycan game here against the Rubik and Batrider as well. The Wolves are going to be very valuable here.
Do you worry going late game, though, as Shopify, against this Faceless Void, Storm?
You do. I mean, you're not comfortable going late game, the big ultimates and the big lockdown of the Chrono, Lasso, Ravage. At some point, it will be a big threat. But I don't think you should stress too much if you're Shopify here. You can happily just lean on your carry, trust him to, carry the mid game, and for you to find an opening to push high ground with that. You also have Timbersaw. It's a pretty early powerhouse in the mid game team fighting. It will be hard for him to burst him here, even though they have good heroes to deal with him.
Yeah, they've got a drafter really built around him as well, right? You get out this laning stage and you're just chasing people. Glimpse, move speed, puck catching, Lycan with a shapeshift. If Talon get on the back foot, they could get harassed back behind their tier 2. 15 minutes into this game. Definitely have to rely on these big Ravages and Chronos to win out some of these earlier team fights.
Yeah, certainly. They need to play wisely around their ultis and try not to get punished too hard when their ultis are on cooldown. If you commit both Chrono and Ravage, that would leave a big timing window for them to mount a push over on the side of Shopify Rebellion, use that Lycan and take down towers. So maybe they need to try and cycle their ultis, Chrono for one team fight, Ravage for the next one, who knows. Try and always have something ready. Overall, though, I think this game is like Talon. They just want to go late game and they want to play some pick-off Dota with their Batrider and their Storm Rubik. And Void just going to try and really become that massive late game power spike that they can't deal with.
I think they've got to be a little careful with their stacks and stuff, though, Talon. Batrider very adept at kind of dipping out a lane, stacking things up. But when you're looking at this Keeper of the Light who's going to be building his own stacks and potentially even contesting with a puck, who loves jumping into the enemy Ancients area to take out that large camp, you've got to bring numbers to try and protect it for as long as you can. But we'll see how it all goes. Our predictions are one thing. How the game pans out and plays is in the hands of the teams now. Game 1 of this best of 2 ready and underway as we'll see Talon take on Shopify Rebellion here at the Riyadh Masters. The penultimate day of the group stage. And everybody looking for the W's.
Yeah, good luck, have fun comes out, and we see Abed on his puck, smoked up and orbing out to get as fast as possible to enemy high ground. Gets the ward drop, both teams smoking up here, but it's going to be Talon going into the enemy jungle with all heroes. The Wolves checking for vision on mid lane here by the Lycan, trying to see if there's any form of vision spotting them.
Anybody here? Oh, the Wolves going to see them. Look at this spam of pings. Arteezy spotted the whole squad of Talon down bottom. Yeah, the big circle drawn. That's Fly saying, they're all down here. We can just set up camp up north. Try and steal out a couple of these bounty runes.
I wonder if they want to try and do a... Yeah, they're doing it. I think that Arteezy is going to stay here on the top lane. I think they want to avoid the tied matchup here. Lane against the Void instead if they can get it. And bamboozle a little bit the starting lanes.
Yeah, not seen something like this in a while. The lane dodging. There's the baiting as well, right? Like the Wolves are bottom. They're thinking, hey, Lycan's down here. Well, it really reminds me of that old broodmother.
Yeah,
putting webs in a lane and saying, hey.
It's almost like teams forgot or stopped doing it because the portals exist, but it still has an impact. If you get to the lane and you see the wrong hero, you still have to make your way over to the portal, channel that portal, run to the lane. It costs you a good 20 seconds total for both you and for the other hero to make that swap, which can make a difference in laning stage. So I think getting a better lane matchup from the start like this is probably a smart thing to do for Shopify here.
I mean, those 20 seconds could be some power denying, a range creep deny.
Exactly.
Anything can happen. Well, in that mid lane so far, one apiece for Mikoto and Abed, puck against Storm, the old classic. Up at top, like you said, Arteezy shifting into the off lane, try and protect himself against that Tide matchup. So here, against the Faceless Void and the Rubik with the crit. Keeper of the Light lined up alongside him. Chakra up, get the Wolves out.
Just gotta try and push the lane in a lot as Lycan here, try to get the CS done as fast as possible, and then maybe they will try and clear up this Ancient, allow themselves to get some big, the big camp and get some pulls.
It does leave Timbersaw down bottom against the Bat, which can get a little nasty, but he's got Fly there to offer a bit of protection, and then it's Timber against Tidehunter, which is what Saberlight's looking for as well.
Yeah, it's a very good matchup being a strength hero, having a strength hero against you as Timber. And they both have magic sticks as well already. So they prepared for this Batrider to be down here. The Disruptor and the Timber Saw both getting charges. Makes it a little bit harder for the Anchor Smash and the Sticky Napalm possibly. Yeah, we don't see a Sticky Napalm yet, but if he skills it up, it might just do...
Yeah, even more value. Saberlight was padding out his stats. Getting that full item up and giving the pain to Jab's Tide. Even chaining forward here. Really looking to pressure Jabs out this lane. A lot of damage onto the Tide and then chains away from the Firefly. Glimpse there to offer protection too.
Gotta respect the Sticky Napalm a little bit. Don't want to stay too far up on the lane and get a lot of stacks on you. Could be dangerous, so just backing out, but still good harassment there by Saberlights and Fly going forward a bit.
And Kotal, Blinding Light to push them back. Secure Arteezy that early laning stage. So far, all of the Radiant heroes farming very well. Storm taking a slight lead mid, but Faceless Void the one that's suffering in these first 3 minutes.
Yeah, he's being bothered a lot. Both the Wolves power denying against him, and then the Blinding Light spam by Crit. It's such an obnoxious build by Kotal. Always just ruining his CS when he goes for a range creep. He keeps getting blinded.
Yeah, we've seen the predominance of that kind of no Illuminate build, even at level like 4 and 5, right? Just maxing out Chakra and Blinding Light.
Yeah, I like to see them going back for the Illuminate at least 1 or 2 points, but definitely early on in a lane like this, Illuminate not that good since Time Walk would just mitigate all the damage. Bottom lane, fight over the Lotus, gonna be a 1 by Fly as it glimpses.
And he grabs it. Crit, a fraction of a second away from stacking that Ancient Camp, sadly. But the chase is here from Q. Fly with a TP out. Was that 5 stacks of napalm on him? Got a little bit nasty.
Yeah, he got way too many stacks, but TP is out. He still had that ready, so not gonna be too poor off. And he's gonna get the small camp pull here as well on bottom lane. So first pull of the game. Top camps are still blocked, so no pulls on this lane. Just a straight up lane Lycan versus the Void.
Keeping things honest.
This
Crit.
rotation mid.
Rotating in, Waning Rift down to low ground from Abed, the orb over Mikoto, and first blood for Crit, the roaming Keeper of the Light, swinging into that mid lane. Does leave Arteezy a little isolated though, but Faceless Void, not the best damage output from a position 1 carry in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Can't get too much done.
He's doing just fine on Lycan. He backs up, get the Lotus as well. You gotta respect that high movement speed from Kotal, and Crit not wasting any time. Gotta go for stacks as well. Has already prepared up a double stack on his Ancients and triple stack over on the big camp.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Abed, good phase shift there, get away from the overload, gather up his water rune. Not really under too much threat. And Mikoto, of course, returning to that lane after dying. Full resources, always going to try and use that as a bit of a leverage in the laning stage.
Lycan just
come back up.
CSing calmly here on top lane, not being pressured too much by the Fade Bolt spam. You feel pretty confident as you have HP regen from Feral Impulse. He's not really bothered at all here.
Yeah, pretty straightforward for him. Quite a passive lane from Talon up here. Get a bit of damage, a bit of an irritance there from Fade Bolt, returned in kind by this Blinding Light though. It feels like very static lanes for now. Do we expect any big moves from these supports, come 6-minute runes?
I think we see a move already. Batrider is going to start TPing top after stacking up the Ancient's big camp.
Ooh.
If they can get a kill on Arteezy here, that would be very useful for shutting him down a little bit and get Void that advantage.
Is that Watcher a green or a red one? I'm not sure if they saw this back coming, but anyway, Q's on top of Arteezy. Blinding Light, not going to help out too much. Gets 23 on top of the Lycan, and Q secures the kill.
Yeah, it's very confusing as a spectator. So that one is actually a Radiant Watcher, but he tried to go around it either way. When he was over it, it was too late. Mid lane, dive onto Abed.
Oh, even with raindrops, pops to the Remnant. Flies come in here, trying to catch up to Mikoto. Good little ball lightning to dodge some projectiles. Glimpse, 2 seconds.
Giving cooldown.
Cooldown. Come on with a vision. They just keep the tabs on Mikoto, but he's got mana pool here to play with. Can ball lightning to the low ground and get away from these 2 supports.
If he gets a top rune right now, it's going to be rigged. Regen is rigged. Oh, he can't go for it.
Oh, and Crit is there to guard it.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that for Puck. Puck is gonna be very happy to get that rune for himself. Gonna bottle up the Caudal for his bodyguard services. Meanwhile,
Oh
bottom.
my god! That was a longer TP. It felt like, I don't know.
Nah, I think it was normal, but it feels long when you have 8 stacks of sticky napalm on you. You know, time is relative to...
Yeah, relativity, yeah.
Yeah, he experienced that full force.
I was watching it, sudden slow motion, almost death of the Timbersaw. It does get back to Fountain safely. This is the strength of the Bat Rider with all that magic damage on the Timber. He set himself up in a good spot. Yeah, Timber slightly ahead of the tide in net worth in that bottom lane. And it looks like Fly's going to come in and scout out the stacks.
He's just checking what's up, you know. He wants to know. He wants to know how many stacks are there over here. Should we be sending Timber? Should we be sending Puck? And this game is really a game of stacking. Look at all this jungle farming going on. And right now, both the Wisdom Runes being snagged. RTC gets 1.
Yeah, Fly just doing a little credit check on Talon. Yeah, what have you got over there on your bank accounts? Anything that I can use for myself? And Arbed sat around half HP, not really in the position to go and contest just yet. Maybe once that 8-minute rune comes around, we can see that move.
Yeah,
we see Talon though gathering everyone.
Yeah, they might be making a move over, but for now, just 2 supports farming big camp together. So pretty chill gameplay, just farming. As Storm has farmed up jungle a little bit. He went for Falcon Blade before Power Treads, so getting it as early as possible. A lot of times we see the Power Treads early, but prioritizing mana regen here.
Yeah, Jab's going to come plonk himself in front of this Lycan now. So that lane matchup, 8 minutes in, finally coming into play. But Arbed's first rotation with the coil gets on top of the tide here. Followed through with crit and Arteezy. Physical damage, the Cracked Shell, the Illuminate, not enough. Jab survives. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Mikoto, ball lightning and tumbling on towards Fly's Disruptor.
Wow. Yeah, Jab's just knowing his limits there, playing top. I thought they was gonna die, but turns out he went for a 0-2-3 build. Very durable. No point in Gush yet, so actually does survive there. TP's out, stays safe, and wasted a lot of time and the coil as well, so at least that was a worthy play for his team, even though he's gonna be bothered a little bit having to TP base. He is very low on experience on this Tidehunter, only level 5 still.
And meanwhile, Saberlight, he is level 6, but purpley pink magenta Chronosphere from 23 Savage and the cancel on the chain. They've caught him out. Saberlight dead again in that bottom lane.
Yeah, 23 with this terrifying void. Beautiful little chrono there, and gonna secure themselves bottom part of the map where they keep finding kills right now. It's Talon just striking a little bit at this structure down here. Shopify trying to push mid as a reaction.
And I'm always a big fan when we see these players, especially carry players, queue up their entire item progression. Like, we know exactly what 23 Savage is thinking, what he wants, what he's aiming for.
Oh, yeah.
His life goals laid out right before us.
It involves a lot of Mithril Hammers, let me tell you. So,
he's going to need them.
oh, Lycan could ulti here to mid.
Yeah, I mean, Arbed silences up Mikoto, the call not quite landing as he intended. And in comes Talon, glimpsing back the Faceless Void, so he's sent back down to bottom as Saberlight chases Mikoto. The Ravage, though. Oh, Jabs has got a big connection here. They just need to follow through with the damage. Saberlight and Crit dropping low. Ollie's found by Arteezy in the back. Crit found by Mikoto, though, as Talon move forward. No mana left on this Storm Spirit. He pops his wand, and he's still in fighting shape, technically. A 3-for-1 trade, as they do lose 3 heroes on Shopify's side.
Yeah, they're all not just a 3 kill, they get this grab too.
The time dilation's there on Arbed. Phase shift is up. The Ancients kill him. He denies himself right under the nose of Talon's heroes.
Oh my, dude, that Ravage right there, Jab's got a beautiful connection. It didn't look like it was going to be the biggest impact Ravage at first, but they were so clumped up over to the side, allowed his Batrider to get some nice stacks going. The Firefly dealt tons of damage. And just a great team fight for Talon. They punished this dive by Shopify Rebellion, which looked a little bit hesitant. They didn't immediately commit with like an ulti. They didn't dive full force at once, and that hesitation, I think, cost them a lot, as Talon had time to get a good reaction, turn that around. Right now we see a smoke move top, but also the smoke being used to farm up the Ancients here by Batrider, as he gets 10 stacks on a massive stack. He's getting an early Blink Dagger.
Hell yeah. Hey, so we'll do it as Tranquil's up. Get that quick blink. Look for the jumps on these heroes. But yeah, this hesitation on every move Shopify make feels like it has to be very decisive. Every passing minute, Talon going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable with this late game Void, Storm. Start looking towards that. I guess not start looking towards, but start thinking about, dreaming about the AoE Vortex. 23 just throws the Chrono down onto Disruptor. Should be a pretty simple solo kill here. Took a little bit longer. Needed the Storm and the Rubik to help out. 23 did most of the legwork though.
Yeah, he definitely did tons of damage. I'm always a fan of carry players who use their ulti early on Void. Even for just a single kill like that, you still got the tower as well, so in this case, very well worth it. But any kill you can get is just great to, you know, not leave your chrono going to waste. In this room now, looking for our TC.
Yeah, wrapping around in on him. Makoto drops this Lycan to half HP with a quick flurry of remnants. Ollie will drag him back, but with Crit and Saberlight's arrival, that'll cut things short.
It's gonna be fine on Lycan. Gets himself to safety. Has the Echo Saber already, so going for that universal build most likely here. Gonna go for the classic, I suppose. This looks like a pretty good Manta game, so Harpoon, Manta, Nullifier, these type of items coming in.
I look to hit that timing as hard as possible.
Yeah, because we saw a lot of Helm of the Overlord Lycan as well, but that's more the offlane style Lycan. This is a carry, this is our TZ. He's gonna try and be the right clicker.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that Broodmother in terms of what you're looking for from the safe lane Brood compared to the offlane one. Let's go all out stats and raw damage. And Tidehunter Illusion gonna come across to the enemy Ancient, says hello to two cores who are trying to farm back there.
Yeah. Good thing they bursted quickly so they can stack up the Ancients as well. Gonna farm efficiently here, expecting nothing less from the great Canadian farmer.
Fly, he's kind of relegated to this position down bottom, just holding waves up against the tide with his Meteor Hammer. Jab's doing a little bit of chip damage there as he starts waddling back towards mid. So he goes from aggressive posture, pushing tier 2, now to defensive, holding tier 1. The smoke from Shopify, looking to get this puck involved.
Yeah, they might go for the kill on Tide even though it's not an ideal target. The fact that he's holding this mid tower is very annoying for them. They opt to not jump him. Gonna go towards RTC and play around him this time.
He's got to shapeshift up, but equally Talon smoke themselves. Bat, Rubik, Storm, all these smoke breaks, that high ground held by Saberlight. Talon knows there's enemies in the area. Get some vision down and show off this blink. Shiny new debut of the item from Q. Catching Saberlight out, but he does lose his life. And there's the turnaround play, though. At least up the Storm, the 2-man chrono. Big one from 23. Aim for the puck with time dilations on him, and the Ravage is there as well. Meteor Hammer to connect. The perfect confluence of events from Talon, as they'll get not just 1, 2, 3, a fourth one coming up. Makoto just needs a little tumble over the staircase to get the double.
Wow, what an impressive fight. Talon, they're just playing so good, man. I get like a sense of happiness when I watch them play. It's very, very clean. That wasn't by no means a bad reaction by Shopify Rebellion there as they got jumped by the Batrider. Immediate reaction by the puck. Blinked in, silenced him, coiled the Storm when he jumps in as well. Perfect reactions by Abed, but at the same time, Talon just did the calculations correctly there. That was a great fight. The chrono placement was impeccable, and the Ravage from below as well. Just very well orchestrated.
Yeah, and a fight where we don't see Static Storm or Shapeshift. Lycan just bailed on that fight, didn't really want to stay and be involved after these big ultis got expended by Talon.
It was a complicated high ground. If you wanted to join that fight, they would have to run up a ramp, and going into those tight choke points can be difficult to do.
Crit caught up in this Rubik Chakram. Ollie offering a lot of damage, but he's in a 1v5 scenario. Shopify bring everybody into that bottom jungle. And now pivot to smoke into the Ancients where Q is farming.
Yeah, smoke was spotted though. They're drawing on the map, saying that they're going like this. This is the dire drawing on the map, revealing this rotation coming in here. He did go in to plant that ward, and at least they're not gonna lose more heroes after his death.
Yeah, completely falling back. Lycan Wolf is out there, trying to find the Storm in that little jungle camp to the north. Tidehunter... he's going to come into contact with them soon.
He doesn't have Ravage yet, but he's still a very annoying target for him to try and go on. The Timbersaw can bring a lot of damage, but he's pretty far away.
Oh, there's Courier, the Canary in the coal mine. He gets taken out Meteor Hammer onto Fly. Rest of Shopify still nearby, but they might just lose their Disruptor before a proper fight kicks off. Thunderstrike stolen, put on Saberlight, give a bit of vision on the Timber, while off to the north. There we go with a catch on Storm, Shield Rune expended. Trying to pump the damage into him. Makoto's still standing. He's surviving. How's he allowed to get away with this? Silence stop the Shadow Amulet, the Ball Lightning available. Makoto, he can survive this. They can't see him. He's hidden in the trees while 23, he's cleaning up. A lasso into the Meteor Hammer, chain stuns on the Lycan, the Big Bad Wolf.
Oh,
he's
no,
being put to
Arteezy.
sleep. Oh, dearie me. Put out to pasture. Taken behind the barn and shot down by Talon.
Goodness. And this poor Puck, not sure he's going to get away. The Storm long jump here.
Yeah, I mean, Abed, face shift, jaunt off to the orb. The flame break touched him, I think, there. Lotus orbs on him. Still being ticked down as he grabs a regen rune. Abed safe, but Shopify, another fight gone wrong.
Yeah, still seeing the Puck here as well. They're running after with the Void. He has Chrono.
Does he wanna?
Can't really
We're
get
about
the
to pop the
connection.
wand.
Meanwhile, top, Tidehunter just trying to throw some question marks at this tower, you know. Got the Meteor Hammer. Gonna bring it down eventually.
23, another one. Was that another Chrono for the Disruptor?
Nah, that was just rude. At this point, I feel like he can maybe get that kill even without the Chrono, but he just really wants this Disruptor dead. Poor Fly, man.
Everywhere he steps, nothing but death. Jabs, Vampire Fangs, a neutral item I don't see enough of, I think.
It's pretty damn valuable, especially in Night Vision at this point. It's not so much about the spell Lifesteal even though that's obviously a useful component. Having that extra bit of vision can always be nice when you have these team fights erupting before 20-minute mark.
Oh, the level 1 Vortex there, not enough to grab the Puck through the Illusory Orb. Arteezy going to get away from Q, who is farming tremendously well.
Ravage top.
Oh, you're right. On to crit.
That's gonna do nothing. Crit is fine. He's laughing all the way to the bank, and he has an Orchid. Interesting.
Okay, yeah. I mean, against a Void and a Storm. They've got no real defensive items, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad one to get, and you get that cast range bonus when you activate your ulti as well, so you can use the Orchid from pretty far away. And
try and pair up with this Timber and Lycan, who can bring a lot of damage to the table. I'm not sure why Crit is tip and Fly there. Something funny he said. He's cracked a joke. Got the tip.
Yeah.
But now you're looking at a Pipe Tide. BKB being worked on by Q, still a couple of thousand away from it, but the rate at which he's been farming, like he's going through Twin Gate to clear out that entire bottom jungle right now. He's getting a lot done.
Yeah, there's a lot of item progressions going on over on the side of Talon right now. Getting towards the BKB timings is going to be huge. Meanwhile, Caudle leading the way here aggressively. They are spotted by Ward though. This entire rotation by Radiant.
23 silenced. Maybe trying to bait them as Abed losing all of his HP quickly. Solar Bind and Static Storm on the Faceless Void, and that Illuminate damage with Saberlight over the top clears through the Faceless Void. Glimmer Cape, that's Shadow Amulet, not going to protect Fly, and a Lasso dragging Arteezy back, but he's in wolf form to shift away. Now Saberlight, the target. He's caught up in the middle of 4, tries the TP, but the Vortex drag back does stop him in his tracks.
Wow, that was a heavy commitment for trying to kill the Void. The Ward was the MVP of that fight, though. Talon had perfect information of everyone coming in. Still, they lose the Faceless Void due to the heavy commitment of the Coil and the Static Storm, as well as running in with Lycan. But at what cost, man? That was so many heroes just suiciding for him.
Yeah, that Ward has won them, what, like 3 fights? Got them a couple of kills?
Prevented the smoke, yeah.
Yeah. That's big stuff.
Every single engagement now, we watched like 3 really big team fights, and every single one has handedly gone the way of Talon.
That's illegal. They glyphed the creep wave, so Abed dying here. He didn't even get to push bottom wave. Jab sets it all up for the Storm Zip, and then they fall back to clear out Tormentor.
His dream to get close to this Blink Dagger over on the Puck, not gonna be fulfilled today as they keep him from that. Tormentor gonna be taken out very quickly. Are only 40 seconds into spawning, and they get it on the lucky proc as well. If you got the shard on Batrider, it basically changes nothing. It's very, very bad for a support bat. But Rubik's Shard, that is a very, very good one. And he still has Coil. Oh.
Shopify? Okay, with Timber joining, they can do this.
Yeah.
Like, you can see Arteezy like holding his ground, thinking, "Hang on a second, my supports are dying."
I was a little bit suspicious there for a while, but yeah, they bring it down. Manta style complete now for Arteezy on his Lycan. As the smoke comes in from Talon, they know that they recently took the Tormentor, so someone should be coming mid is what they're predicting. It's not a bad prediction. Will they go out here with Fly, though? If he shows, he's dead.
Oh, Fly. He says hello, and Jabs is there to meet him. The 4th core of this Batrider, not even needed, really. Mikoto Zip was more than enough damage.
Beyond godlike 11, 1, and 7. Mikoto keeps playing amazing here at this tournament. Just absolutely putting on a clinic.
18 out of the 22 kills involved in. Supreme performance from him, and Abed. He's been spotted down here. Shifts away from the wave into the jungle. 23, time dilation and chrono. They've caught out the puck, and there is no escape.
Solo kill, ultimately. They had a lot of heroes nearby, but that was 23 just getting in there, getting the chrono onto him. No hesitation. Nice quick chrono, and since puck doesn't have a blink, it's a little bit harder for him to react to the chrono there.
And we're getting to the point now where Talon are hitting critical mass. BKB is up there for 23 Savage. So no longer going to be completely bullied out by the Static Storm and Solar Bind. He's got a way to protect himself.
And the coil, right? All these catch abilities that you have on Shopify Rebellion they're unreliable right now. Nobody can guarantee that you're going to be able to lock someone down. Even the Orchid over on the Keeper of the Light, it doesn't really guarantee that you're going to lock down anything here. And the Storm, of course, he doesn't have a BKB yet, but he has Kaya-san. She got that status resistance too. With the pipe as well from the Tides. I don't know, they're hard to kill on the side of Talon already.
Yeah, and we were looking at this draft thinking, hey, Shopify, they're pretty good when they're on the front foot. Lots of ways to chase and catch up, but they don't have great like reset tools to reconfigure a fight when it goes poorly. This Chrono, this Ravage, the Ball Lightning from Storm, allowing Talon to really pick their moments and reposition when they want to. Shopify needs that catch, really. You know, play into vision, find a grab on someone, but it's Talon that's playing way crisper right now.
Yeah, they send the Tidehunter to a dangerous area as well. TP top, gonna just let him push out the lane, knowing that the enemy probably don't want to go on a Tidehunter. Pretty bad targets. And meanwhile, what are Shopify Rebellion even doing right now? They're just kind of clearing the map. Everybody is off on their own, trying to finish up farm wherever they can. Puck gave up on the idea of the Blink Dagger and went back for Kaya-Sanj. So Blink now, well, he starts over from scratch. I'm gonna have to farm it again.
Yeah, try and get back up there. Kaya-Sanj on the Timbersaw as well now. See what they can do with a couple of little items. They're not like game-changing though.
They're not bad items, but there is something to note that the status resistance is a big thing that you're paying for, right? And against Faceless Void, it doesn't do anything. Chrono locks you down. You will not move. Status resistance will not save you from that. So the double Kaya-Sanj into Faceless Void, I mean, it's not a bad item, but it also doesn't solve the problem here.
Yeah, it often feels like a stepping stone item. Like, you know, you're moving towards late game. You want something that kind of keeps you in contention right now. It's like a soft BKB.
Void, he has a lot of heroes around him, but do they want to go on him? That BKB just makes it very complicated. I don't think they have any way to initiate on anything right now, and Shopify just desperate to move across the map. Kato been spotted.
Oh, he sure has. Q's on his tail. Flame break to start. Crit. I don't know.
Well, he picked his graveyard.
Yeah.
We'll
choose where he dies, eventually.
Leaving him to burn down slowly to the time dilation damage.
At least he's getting some fun chat wheel lines out there. Was that a fresh ward he placed as well? Watching out near the Lotus Pool?
Yeah, he did just... he did... Actually, it was Disruptor even getting down there, placing it. They had a lot of heroes in the area, but they thought better of it. Don't want to stick around. I'm trying to look for outs here for Shopify as, you know, like sort of a poker mentality of trying to see how can you flip this around, how can this turn, because right now it's looking awful.
What's the river card?
I'm not even sure, dude. It would be the Aghanim's Disruptor, right, to be able to prevent the BKB uses, but he went Glimmer. And on a support Disruptor in a bad game, by not rushing Aghanims as well, you're not getting that Ags anytime soon.
Abed with a nifty escape from the bat there. Q had to pick his direction. Abed toyed with him a little bit.
The Radiant Vision is really good right now, though. They get dewarded one ward bottom. But yeah, this gem on Storm, he needs to run around and find all these wards because they got some sneaky deep wards that will help them play hide and seek on the map, because that's basically their game plan.
Yeah, like Abed was out there in enemy ancients. He was the one that placed that ward in dire ancient spot.
Oh, they want
In
tide.
this top jungle,
They're
looking
going
at jabs, static storm, kinetic field, drops the meteor hammer, and there's nothing to cancel it, so he survives and gets a stun down, allowing Makoto to arrive. The Ravage is out, 3 caught up in it.
Oh,
10
boy.
draws out from Tide, and 23 arrives, looking for Fly. He's not going to chrono him this time. Just gets the solo takedown regardless, while Crit is hunted by Makoto and Q up to the north. Oh, 23.
Still not safe here.
Keep chasing. Chrono at the ready. Well, Saberlight got some pretty long reach with the Timber Chain, though.
Yeah, he can't get the time dilation on him. He's trying to catch up to time dilate him, so he can't keep timber chaining away, but he's just out of reach. Not gonna be able to get him. That was a desperate move, Gareth. They were like, we can't gank anything, so we might as well try and kill the Tide, because the one hero we might be able to kill since he doesn't have BKB. But, I mean, it's a Tide, Gareth.
Yeah.
He's chonky as hell. He didn't even die.
He just stands there and channels Meteor Hammer right in front of them all. Oh, what are you going to do?
And now
Stop
we have
me?
no ultis.
Oh, Abed. Oh, risky business. Might have to spend the coil here just to try and get away. Lassoed up. And in comes the Storm. Abed. He's dead.
He goes down, and this is going to be tier 2 tower taken as well. 30 seconds to the Wisdom Runes here. I think we're going to see Talon try and make a play for both the Wisdom Runes.
Yeah, tier 2's Wisdom Runes. High ground push. Storm Spirit has this Aegis for just 30 seconds now. That could still be a window.
Oh, they're just going high ground. They're not even hesitating.
23 very comfortable with Makoto trying to utilize the last remaining seconds of the Aegis to go a little deep. Just get a bit of damage on the crit there. Make sure the Kothl's not pushing back this wave with Illuminate spam.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, RTZ is out on the map.
It does mean Arteezy managed to snipe a little Wisdom Rune at least. He got himself something, and he's down here pushing out waves and farming. Gonna ulti away. Does not want to die.
How long's the cooldown on that, though?
On his ulti, it's 80 seconds, but it's obviously a 25-second duration, so he's got some time. I don't think it's bad for him to use ulti to help his split push even more now, because fighting is not the option. The problem is, there's see him top. Is he gonna back out in time? Looks like it.
This is where Lycan wishes his shapeshift was a normal skill like TB has.
Oh yeah,
Chakra it up.
that'll be something.
Fly, Glimmer Cape gets dusted. Caught out a little too far forward. Yeah, this is like you're saying, right? Shopify have to kind of wrap behind, cut wave, do a bit of ratting right now.
I think they just have too many things that get countered by one item. Like, all their drafts gets countered by this one BKB purchased by Faceless Void, and then he doesn't have to worry about anything. And it's a massive problem when you can't threaten the enemy carry at all anymore. Because even if all 5 of you go on him with a smoke gang and he didn't expect it, he'll still live.
Yeah, and I think we've got to come back to this Timbersaw situation as well. Oh, hang on a second. Makoto, that's a long zip. I just watched him on the map go from mid lane down to bottom jungle to find crit. This Timbersaw, you know, we've seen him perform incredibly well, and we had this lane swap up where they wanted to give Arteezy a better time. But it's a Timbersaw game where Timber hasn't had, like, I've not said Saberlight's name in a good 10-15 minutes. He's not done anything.
Oh no, not
Like,
Cliff
the
Teasy!
Cliff Teasy!
No! Oh, don't do him like this.
He mantles down to low ground.
He's
Is he going to
safe.
slip away?
He's safe,
No,
Gareth.
he's not allowed to escape this.
Oh!
He's
He's
into the
safe.
trees, TPing away, he's fine.
Not today.
Arteezy, go ahead, just try and kill me. Meanwhile, your buildings, though, your base,
Don't
being
mind that.
marauded by talent.
Buildings, schmildings, Gareth. He lived. Cliff TC lived.
He gets off it.
That's what the Manta is for. I mean, if you're a TC, honestly, Manta is an everything solution. You know, doesn't really matter what happened. You know, didn't finish your homework. Well, Manta style out of that. You know, like you can Manta style anything.
My Manta ate my homework.
Yep.
Talon still waiting around under this high ground vision. Sentry dropped and Fly knows it's up there. Not going to stick around for it. It's just, fun moves like that, like Arteezy survives, but in the end, what's he gaining? Not too much.
He's being chased. Well, he got to live a little bit longer, but
tries to turn and fight. Lasso's there from Q. Trapped in this kinetic field for a little while, but 23 and Ollie should be offering more than enough damage to bring the Lycan to his knees. And in the meantime, you got a mid lane push coming in. Storm Spirit's dived to tier 3, killed off Crit. Jabs is on this objective. And there it is. GG called. A tap out.
GG and a quick head out. They know there's no real way for him to spin this game around. They don't have the type of abilities to turn around a game that is at this state. Yeah, that was very, very solid gameplay by Talon. Honestly, I think Shopify Rebellion fell a lot on their draft. They didn't have a single proper stun. And that's hard Dota to play. It's super complicated. You have Coil, sure. And technically you got like Glimpse to pull back, which I guess is a disable when it does that. But against a Storm and against a Void, you need disables. Silences are good, but real disables are king. Here we see some of the highlights.
Yeah, and when you've got a Lycan on your team, you know, he wants to be in that back line, killing off supports. Yeah, that hiding of Makoto, really beautifully done.
Even the Wolves trying to get him, but no. And then he just gets kited at the end. This was just hard to watch, man.
See, like, right there, right? Arteezy potentially could have had a kill or two if he'd had a stun. Helped out by his team. And here was the chance. They do get a couple of spells landed on that Void, pre-BKB. Get a kill, but they get wiped after this. And then after the fight, the BKB came from Void, which meant he was untouchable for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily in the camp of like, oh, you have to pick stuns or you lose Dota, but this type of draft that they have, where you have absolutely no reliable stun, that's just very hard. At least you need to rush a Hex or something, or, you know, like, get anything to threaten killing people before they react with a button.
And then the final death here. Arteezy had just escaped from that high ground where he was cliffed. Comes back to farm. I guess found by 3 Talon heroes. Good well-rounded victory here for Talon in the end. Not much that Shopify could have done to stop this. A game 1 victory for them, putting them in good stead in the group stage. Shopify now scrambling and kind of desperate for a game 2 victory. So we'll have a quick break and find out if they can do it. We'll see you in a little bit.
مستمتع وتلاقي الوجبة جاية على الأصول واو يجيك العيش هش طالع من الأوفن والدجاج يقرمش just the way I love it وتسوي كده وتسوي كده وتسوي كده مع الحشمة وإن تبغى راب خفيف أجيب تويستر أنا أجيب لي وجبة الزنجر بس كله يجيب إكسترا تشيز على الكرانشي تشيكن في السنتر حطلب باكت حطلب زنجر حطلب مايتي حطلب تويستر جيب له باكت جيب له زنجر جيب له الأصلي جيب له تويستر delicious yeah
Hello there, we're back with our last series of the day. Shopify Rebellion taking on TALON Esports, and it was not an easy ride for Shopify in Game 1. TALON with some massive team fight hits, and Shopify with no stuns, couldn't catch anybody.
Yeah, feels like Shopify kind of just flailing there blindly. At some point, the game was just completely lost. They didn't really have a chance to split push because of the great catch that Talon had, and they didn't really have a chance to threaten and go for any kills either. Even if they had a better laning stage, I feel like they probably would have ended up in the same spot there, but very well played overall here by the side of Talon. They just drafted themselves a nice little start and then played it really well. I also believe we have our first team to guarantee advancement, by the way, in the A group. The Quest Esports, with their 2 wins and 4 draws and 0 losses, guarantees them upper placement here in the group.
Right, keeping that momentum going. Yeah, really beautiful stuff. Quest, our first team, straight through to the playoffs. I mean, on that topic as well, Talon if they get a 2-0 here, all but secured main event, not necessarily straight up to the upper bracket, might still have that potential to be lower. Shopify, on the other hand, a 0-2 loss here puts them in that relegation zone where they're seriously in contention of being dumped out of the tournament. They're alongside TSM and Tundra down near the bottom of Group B, looking a little rough. So this individual game, game 2 of a best of 2, you don't have that best of 3 actual victory in sight, but you need just a little win. One little win. That's what Arteezy wants.
They really need it. I mean, it doesn't look good to be 0-5-1, but it looks a hell of a lot better than being 0-4-2 losses. So, yeah, getting this 1 point here could make the difference to avoid going into that bottom part of the group. And Tundra looking at 0-2-3. Anyway, we're heading into our draft. We're getting the second game going here. We'll see if Shopify Rebellion can construct themselves a nicer composition here that's going to work out a bit better, because I feel like it's no lie, no secret that last game the draft just looked tough to play out.
Yeah, start having conversations about that Timbersaw, whether he's worthy still of these first picks, individual first pick, first phase maybe. If you've got that second pick duo, but potentially just kind of leave Timbersaw to see if it's a good game for him in that second phase. As he's being counted out a little bit in terms of hero picks, itemization, playstyle, lots of ways to figure out what to do with that Timber.
I feel like they're setting up to pick Timber, though, Shopify, with these bans that they're going for. Storm and Silence are bans. This is like telling that we want to play the Timbersaw, we want to use him here, because those heroes are absolutely amazing against him. We'll see what they grab for their first pick after the ban of Talon here. I like the Wisp ban. I think in general that hero is wise to remove and not let him slip through. It can be hard to deal with.
Well, let's start off with the Bat Rider. Yeah, I think the Silencer, I think you're correct in what you're saying. It's also this ability for Talon to go for like Silencer second phase, and think about Meepo last pick as well. Having this Meepo.
Yeah, certainly that combination has been used, historically, and we saw it yesterday. We saw it brought out. It was yesterday, I believe, the success of that combo coming back. But they go for a pretty non-saying first pick here on Shopify, going for a Bat Rider. So again, good grab. This time we're already guaranteeing Shopify Rebellion will have pick-off potential. Just by having Bat Rider, they already have solidified that, Gareth.
At the very least. They've got something going for them. So what do you want to do here? You don't know where Bat's going. You're mainly focusing on your own draft, right, with this double pick?
Yeah, I think so. There's no shame in just grabbing yourself some lane-winning supports here. I don't see a problem with it. If you want to play the Rubik, you can go for it. If you prefer going Undying, you can take that. They're going to go for the Enigma. Okay, could go Enigma Rubik then. They go for the Tiny. That's also the 1-2 combo we've seen time and time again.
Taking a leaf out of some of these Chinese teams' books and toss back into Eidolons. And yeah, still, I think the strength of this, when your second pick, having Enigma Tiny as your duo, it's like multiple directions flexibility, strong lane on its own. So you're kind of dangling this is our off lane in front of your opponents, and you try and counter it, you just swap things around.
Yeah, if you quickly counter it by grabbing yourself like a Medusa or something and, try and pick up an early Rubik or something, you just say, okay, it's a pos 5 Enigma, chill, and it's a mid tiny, What are you thinking? Countering our lane? No. We're not going that way at all.
Oh, very quick TB. Bat Rider TB opener.
Yeah, Terrorblade. I mean, this is a hero that Arteezy likes to fall back on in general. They banned out his Naga, which I think he would have preferred to play, as she's very, very good in passing, very, very good win rate overall. But Arteezy and Illusion heroes is their Amonic duo than that in Dota. I don't know. So he gets himself a little bit of comfort zone there, and we'll see how his lane is going to be. They're trying to shield him now as well with some of these bans. The Darkseer, of course, problematic for TB.
Yeah, it sure is. And now they've shown that carry, you don't have to waste any position 1 bans here as Talon. You start thinking about maybe taking out some of the lane winning supports you were mentioning they could have picked themselves. Get rid of some of Fly's hero pool with that Undying. Think about Crit with that Earth Spirit, which they did throw a ban at in game 1, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think it would be smart to target either Crit or Abed here, but okay, they're gonna respect the Undying Terrorblade combo. Also a combo we've seen a lot, just works really well. You shield your Terrorblade really well, get him to level 5 without a problem, and then he can just farm jungle or even bully the lane a bit and stay there and protect the safe lane tower. So
yeah, they might do like
access to him.
I might do like a little bit of pick and mix, right? Like the 1 ban on Undying, he's strong. Ban out a Beastmaster, ban out a Puck, one of each.
They could. Yeah, I'm not sure that they're going to keep banning +5 heroes here. I feel probably just Undying is the single support that is the most problematic here, paired up with the Terrorblade. There are some other good support options, of course, but I think you're better off focusing down a bit on getting a good mid matchup. We'll see what they do. Shopify, they don't want to play against Morphling. Similar reason as the Darkseer, the counter against Terrorblade. You can buy Aghanims if you want, get all the attack speed gone from the Terrorblade, steal his stats, and of course get your own meta.
And it feels like by far 23 Savage's best hero as well.
Yeah.
Outside of that one that one moment. So people aren't playing techies anymore, it's fine.
Yeah, whoa, you mean the waveform onto the teleporter on with the four mines stacked? That was a surprising moment for him, I think. I think he had a heart attack when he waveformed up there.
Yeah, everyone in the crowd, hearts in their mouths. It was an awful spot to be in. Well, Clockwork's going to join the ranks of banned heroes.
You know what's funny? I think you can only do the 4 mine placement on the top portal. I don't think you can get 4 mines on the bottom one. I tried to do it the other time, but yeah, it seems like the layout is a little bit different. Same way you can teleport from the low ground on the bottom portal, but not on the high ground one. It's not fully symmetrical, Dota as a game. It's a little bit differences here and there.
I find all these little changes in the map terrain.
Yeah, little nooks and crannies. Good to know everything inside out.
Especially when you're a Pango player. We've seen Niche as the one that discovers all these little holes you can get caught in the crowd. Enigma. That hookshot always going to be a valuable tool to cancel out black holes, so solid ban. And there goes the Meepo. Shopify still respecting Jabs' ability to bring it out.
Yeah, he's played his Meepo and shown off what he can do with it. So even though there's Enigma, which could be the offlaner, still having to ban offlane heroes as well. Just a tricky situation to be in. And they go with the Tidehunter here. I like the pick. They banned out the Rubik as well, shielding their Enigma. So this is a very strong teamfight draft from Talon so far. A lot of AoE disables, a lot of control. Shopify, though, still probably wanting to take this game pretty late with that TB.
Well, we'll find out if he buys a hand of Midas or not.
Arteezy?
Arteezy, yeah. This Meepo, we talked about it when Jabs picked it, right? We looked back on the Dota buff, looked on the pub profiles, couldn't really see it. It's gone from being, the first time they pick it a couple of days ago to now being second phase ban worthy. It's one of those awkward spots where, not necessarily wasting a ban, but it's a new bit of information that it's like, oh, we have to do it. Don't want to play against it.
Yeah, it's the type of cheese pick that you just don't want to go out on. You don't want to drop, basically, because that's the danger here that you're looking at for Shopify. If they lose this game, that could very well put them towards elimination. So this is a very important game for them. They need to take at least one game in the series. And they go with Timbersaw. I said it from their first 2 bans that it might be a Timbersaw game for them. And they do go back for it here, seeing the Tidehunter, seeing the Enigma. Tiny even. Pretty good heroes for Timber to just cut down.
Yeah, it feels much more comfortable going into the second phase. You've got bans to cover. You've seen a couple of heroes. I feel better with that Timber pick. I'm still curious, though, here. Enigma first pick. They ban out the Clock, the Rubik. They see Silencer ban, so they feel Enigma's, super covered. But now they've picked Tidehunter, and that moves Enigma into the support role, right?
Yes, it really should. This should mean the Tidehunter is +3 going up against the Terrorblade. That's the matchup they want. And then it's Enigma protecting someone on the safe lane, whereas I would assume this Tiny could be mid-Tiny. And that's also where Timbersaw is possibly matching up on the mid lane against the Tiny. A lot of things happening here. Flexibility still available, though.
Yeah, then you've got the fun matchup potentially of Bat against Tiny. And Tiny can toss him back, but he's still a melee hero against Sticky Napalm, which can be nasty. Shopify bring out the Lion. Quite often sort of a pre-pick when you're thinking your opponents are picking an illusion hero.
I think Lion is very underestimated. He's not getting a lot of attention, but I think the tools that he provides are very, very useful. Being able to burst people whenever you grab them with the lasso here, you have the damage from like Timber coming in and then a Finger of Death. That's such a quick kill. But also the mana drain, like you said. If the enemy want to play illusion carries are quite popular right now. It can be good. Granted though, the TB is already picked, Naga is already banned, so PL not really worried about Lion as well, as he can make too many illusions for Lion to deal with.
You know what, Wildcat? He's got 2 stuns.
That's true. They're already way ahead of last game. They're pretending like last game. You know what? It was a bit of a slip up, but we're here to fix it. This looks way nicer. I don't see a very big exploitable weakness in what Shopify are doing right now, and we'll see if Talon have identified one. They're going even more teamfight, adding a snap. Very, very likely that they throw this hero mid. Yeah, if they had a Faceless Void as well, it's just gonna be ridiculous, but you don't really want this many, or that many big spells. I think they're already loaded on it.
Yeah, so we're looking at Q Tiny, position 4, Enigma 5 for Ollie, Snap mid, Tidehunter off lane, yeah, then we get that Faceless Void, a couple of carries banned against 23, while Shopify is still not exactly sure what they want, but we're looking at like a carry TB offlane Timber, a 4 Lion, and Batrider's still potentially flexible, but probably support.
I'm thinking it could very well be mid as well, though. They can put it either way here. It can be an offlane Timbersaw trying to play there. The problem is that we don't know the carry matchup yet. So they're banning out Void and banning out Slark. That tells me that they want to be able to put this Timber on the offlane. So most likely they want last pick for mid, but it is possible that they grab something else and put the Timber mid. We'll see what's gonna happen.
10 seconds remaining.
What's this last pick gonna be? Got rid of the TA. Do we take out Ember Spirit for Arbed, something like that?
Yeah, I think something with high magic damage for sure is what I feel like would be a nice takeout. Pango, that's definitely a hero with a lot of nukes.
Yeah, someone who can play with the Bat and the Lion, right? When these guys have blinks, you want someone that can chase with a Timbersaw chain, blink carrier or naturally, innately maneuverable. Is always handy.
I think Pango was a good read. Also, an annoying hero to cancel Black Hole in, weird ways. Once it gets that Basher, if you have Aghanims on him, suddenly it's super hard to get a good Black Hole as Enigma. You just randomly get bashed. And the Diffu Rush would be very strong here. Tidehunter doesn't do too well with getting his mana burned. Same with Tiny. Shopify, they're gonna have to reveal here. I suspect it's just offlane Timber, and we're looking at the tempo hero mid for Abed here. The last pick to round out the draft.
Alright, down to the wire, it's a Wind Ranger. We saw this matchup, right? Snap against Wind Ranger. Not go too well for the red-headed lady.
Yeah, we saw Wind Ranger, and she did lose the matchup. Snap wins a lot of mid lanes, dude. I don't really know which hero I would be concerned about if I was a Snap mid, to be honest. It feels like any hard matchup where you can't really keep trading, say for some reason, not these metas, say Viper was played, you still just kind of nuke and clear the creep waves, and you just get your bottle, get some water runes, you're good. Last pick here though for Talon. What carry did they want to deal with all this? Bloodseeker's still in the pool. Could be a take.
That is the question. And quite often they just go back for Medusa.
Yeah.
It's always the solid one.
Their team fight is ridiculous. Their team fight is absolutely absurd on the side of Talon. You have to sort of break them before they all go together if you want to try and beat them. Shopify, though, looking much more like they want to split the map, use those illusions, clear out the map a little bit. You know, once you get going, if you get an Aghanim Scepter at some point on Wind Ranger, she can sneak around. You can start abusing the mobility here of Talon's team, because Talon, they're the unstoppable force. They want to just group and go. Definitely going to see some aura items coming out from these guys as well. And we'll see if Shopify can play the map correctly here to prevent that.
Yeah, guys, hey, lots of use cases for Talon's ultis here, right? They're not fully reliant on long cooldowns. We'll have this Tiny having displacement from his toss to kind of drag people away from situations, set up for Mikoto Snapfire with the kisses, so you don't need that Ravage or Black Hole to be used to kind of unlock that Snapfire's potential. Once they do group up, though, it is overwhelming. Is this a difficult draft for Shopify to pull off? It feels more nuanced than the brute force Neanderthal Talon draft that they've got.
No, I don't think it's necessarily super hard. It's just you need to understand what your goal is and not get tricked into taking bigger fights than you want. If you go on the enemy near their towers, you might get dragged into a 5v5 engagement that might just be very unfavorable for you. But you have the Terrorblade, Arteezy. He knows his way around these illusion heroes, and you bet that he's going to be pushing creep waves, cutting waves, and trying to force Talon to split up. And I think that then they can make a lot of moves. Wind Ranger is a great pickoff hero. Lion, Batrider, you said it earlier during the draft. And even Timbersaw is the type of hero that doesn't really die to like one or two heroes that easily. He needs like a lot of heroes, especially looking at Talon. They have Enigma, Tiny, Tide, Snap, and Medusa. If I'm Timber, I'm not too worried. Like, who's gonna gank me? How does that gank kill me? It needs to be like a Black Hole and Snapfire hitting me with a lot of, you know, help from something else as well. I think their lineup is very playable. I like their chances here on Shopify.
Man, just gotta get off the ground and get through that laning stage, see what they can do as we head into game 2. Talon against Shopify, where again, just gonna reiterate, Shopify looking, you know, down at the bottom towards that group. Need victories here. While Talon, a win, a 2-0 in this series, could all but secure themselves that main event status. As we get out on the map, all smoked up, Mikoto is going to get out to this mid lane a touch faster than his opponents. We'll see where he gets that ward down.
And they're just rushing down. We'll see if he gets the ward as they run into each other. They see that he has a ward on him. They clicked him. Most definitely there. So, not going to get the plant.
Albert and Jabs having a bit of all chat. Southeast Asian pride.
Hi, Jabs. I'm your fan.
Did they ever play together? I can't think of it.
Jabs and Abed? I think they did. I think. I can't
Back on Fnatic or... Jabs has been on so many teams, I struggle to keep up with where he's been.
Then you're getting mixed up with the German Jabs, the coach as well.
I mean, he might have been back on 2019 Fnatic or something, I don't know. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I feel like they
fans of
definitely
each
have been
other.
in the same team at some point. There's no way they haven't. There's been so many constellations of the Southeast Asian teams.
Yeah, 2019, TI, 2019, Jabs, Abed, Ice, DJ, Dubu.
Right, that was the one, yeah.
That was the one.
Oh, that was a good one. I really like watching them, actually, with Ice.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier, right? Fnatic and TNC. As Talon might lose Ollie here. Enigma caught up down in the river, and first blood for Kryn, but Arteezy's getting turned on. Blood Grenade and Gush on this Terrorblade will give them a kill for Mikoto in that mid lane. The chase.
They didn't get the bounty rune though, so backing up, taking that rune as well gives a 3-rune, 4-rune advantage.
Can we kill Fly here with a Gush? Q might get pushed back by this flame break that Fly's got to keep them at a bit of a distance. Eats the tango, and he's gonna live.
Reflection gonna help him out as well, but 4 bounty runes, that's insane. That's such a big gold lead that you get from that, actually. It helps you a lot to get in a nice spot, especially on the supports, as supports generally don't have that much gold. Right now we have 1100 net worth. Lion is leading the way. He's the richest of everyone.
Feels good to be crit. I'll come down here, lane with Saberlight against this Enigma Medusa lane. There's a stun onto Ollie, so already good pressure here.
Yeah, probably not the most confrontational lane. They will try to assert some pressure here, but top lane gonna be more exciting, I think, as Arteezy playing very actively, just running up and hitting this Tidehunter.
Chipping away at him, giving Fly a bit more freedom there to play against the Tiny. Small camp Looks like he got that dewarded, so he's got access to pulls. No, sorry, that's a Radiant Sentry Ward. I'm a dumbass. That is
they're
blocked.
blocking it. Yep. They're blocking it. And using Meta and Blood Grenade here. Doing a lot of damage. Not enough for a kill.
Q going to have to try Tango up. Jab's looking a little worse for wear as well against this Metamorphosis.
Yeah, they can't even touch creeps right now. This is really well played. Look at Arteezy as well. He doesn't want to let them get any chance to farm this under tower. 5 seconds, he has Reflection. He's going to bother him here.
I just stay right next to it. Start power denying into them. Jabs gets the last hit. There we go. Feels good about something. Getting hit quite a bit.
Level 2, toss back.
Wrapping in behind, tosses the TB, and Jabs smashes him down. I mean, Arteezy was doing pretty well there until he wasn't.
Yeah, he did want to bully as much as possible, but gets punished for it by Q as he just simply waddles around there. And a little gush to set up as well.
Well, mid lane looking pretty even here. Arbad going to gather himself up a Water Rune. 12-2, 12-2. Absolutely even between these two mid laners.
Yeah, nobody getting the better of each other yet, but Windranger struggling a little bit as she gets the creeps on her there. Gonna have to tank those while Snap tries to get the nice.
We're going to have to keep our eyes on this Arteezy Terrorblade. He's bought up brown boots. Wait to see what he has in his quick buy. If that Handamitis comes out, he's right to jail.
Straight to jail, believe it or not. Hey, it was successful last game. Always did something.
Treads, good boy. Saberlight. Yeah, just having some snakes thrown at him. 23, pretty much untouched down here. Having a similar time. Free farming away. As the Lotus Pool contested. Was it Ollie who grabbed it under the nose of Saberlight?
Yeah. Top it also was the Tiny getting it. Flamebreak was attempted to push him away to stop him from grabbing it, but didn't push him away from the pool. I don't even know if it matters if you push him away when he started channeling, because the push landed, he still grabbed it on Tiny. So,
yeah, have you seen the Pango roll with the pool?
Pango roll with the pool? I can't say I have.
Yeah, so you can start channeling the pool and rolling Thunder away, and you can continue channeling the pool while being 2,000 range away from the pool.
Oh, to take all the things.
To take all the Lotuses, yeah.
Right.
So it's like some of these, I guess, displacement tools, if they're not a stun. Oh, hang on, Mikoto. In that mid lane, Cookie's forward. The power shot comes, the fairy fire's out. Abed! Oh, they both die, but Abed got the kill first.
Abed with a clutch power shot there. Good prediction on Mikoto's jukes, and Mikoto not gonna get any experience there. So even though it's a 1-for-1, it is a big win for the Wind Ranger. Getting herself a little bit of an edge on mid. As they're still dead even. 20 and 2, 20 and 2, and they kill each other. This is really great to watch, actually. What an exciting mid lane.
What's the net worth difference? If that's identical numbers, oh, it's not far off, you know.
It's 13 gold away or something. Yeah, it's very, very close.
Oh, I love this. A Water Rune guarded down bottom. Crit comes across. Mikoto takes the top. Lion leaving that bottom lane, giving Timbersaw a bit of solo experience time. Lion even handed the bottle there. Nicely done by Arbed. We keep him in fighting shape and get a bit more damage onto the Snap.
Yeah, passed over the bottle again, and he's gonna head back to bottom. And Jabs going up and trying to get creeps here. Could be in danger with a meta.
Getting chased down with this Firefly on him. Metamorphosis up now. And a Flame Break pushback. He pops his wand and a
Illusion?
TP home. Not quite enough to get the kill. And Jabs is back by his tier 1 with a salve.
Yeah, not gonna get that, but he's gonna heal up. Creep Wave is pushing in now as well, so he'll be happy when the experience comes in. Bottom, 23, going a little bit low on his mana.
Yeah, this new Medusa. Thankfully, we've got mana pools up at the top of the hero portrait, so we can keep tabs on that, because keeping track of HP just doesn't matter. Q's rotation down here, looking for a kill on Crit. A toss across with the help of the Blood Grenade, but he pops a pretty hefty one there, and with the raindrops up, are still gonna die. No matter how many protective tools he's got.
Man, he swapped in the Fair Fire a little bit too late.
Unfortunate at mid lane. Arbed, he's cracked level 6. Focus fire to get the solo kill. While the dive on bottom, it continued with Fly's arrival. Not able to get on top of all your Q well enough. And now the Avalanche missing. The toss on the Deucer. Get in there. Go for Snake Lady. Get the kill on this Bat Rider. Finish her off with a toss of the bone. And Saberlight still sticking around. Running low on mana though. Can't find any kills.
Tough for Timbersaw to bring down the Medusa, as the only way you're really doing damage is by casting spells, and that just keeps giving these magic wand charges. Medusa staying healthy on this lane, even though she doesn't have that much mana. Lion, he just got back here, he doesn't want to die again.
Yeah, it's turned into a Turning into a bloodbath down there.
Uh-oh.
Even Fly's keeping in mid.
Artillery?
Coming. Mortimer launches the lava at you, and Lion sent down to one of the layers of hell, back to his home. He'll come back soon enough.
Yeah, he'll have to do another waddle. Abed, though, getting the edge on mid lane over Mikoto there, getting that solo kill, and now in control of the rune, has the illusion rune available. Obviously really strong on Wind Ranger, as we even see a lot of players go for the Manta style later on.
Yeah. Oh, 7 minutes coming. Who is that lurking on the left side of the map? Oh, it's Fly.
Dire are scanning.
He has the flame break, but there's also avalanche toss combo.
And an Enigma. 2 seconds to go. Toss him across towards the tier 2. Not going to get aggroed by the tower, but Fly's found now by Jabs. Tide leaves the lane and comes back to claim the Batrider kill.
Yeah, pretty perfect takedown there. That's going to put the Tide a little bit closer to his Meteor Hammer. Didn't have a very good lane so far, but getting that kill definitely helps.
Sure does. Mikoto, yeah, wanting his Rod of Atos. Just a recipe away for him. And Wind Ranger a little behind now, 400 net worth difference between her and the Snap. Even with how well Albert has played, the Snap just showing how the prowess of this hero in the mid lane is pretty much untouched.
Yeah, he's farming very efficiently as well, and Snap, even though he died, he's still ahead by 8 CS, farming the big camp there as well, and of course getting his involvement with the ulti before with the rotation. Bottom, 23, being ganked heavily here.
Under
TB
the
is here.
chakram. As the TB with Metamorphosis, they're on this Deucer, and of course she's got no Stone Gaze, pops 12 one charges and still dies. Transfer this into an objective push here as Shopify, 4 heroes brought down bottom.
Yeah, he goes down very quickly, and this tower being taken right now. Even though you're going for this Meteor Hammer and pushing top with the Tide Hunter, you're gonna lose your safe lane tower. There's not much they can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, I love this from Arteezy. We've seen some other players who would be farming, the camps up in the mines, getting to their Midas. He's here. Treads, Dragonlance almost done. He's starting to stack up the big
going for
stats
fighting
items.
Yeah, he's getting involved as well. This first rotation, I feel TB is a hero that makes these rotations through the portal very, very effectively, since you can not only threaten the enemy carry, but you can take that tower really fast as well with that move.
Good point. Fly farming quite forward here, and Saberlight sat around half HP. Flamebreak trying to push them away, and Saberlight looking for a chain, but Medusa cuts him off at the pass. No escape.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we've got Ancients being stacked, top lane being pushed by Meteor Hammer, Talon still kind of filling out the map.
Yeah, Talon are getting their net worth building up, and they're leaving mid now to get some levels on the Enigma as well, as it's only a little support Enigma. He needs to get to that level 6, get towards having his ulti available. Fly getting bombarded on bottom lane here. Snapfire.
Oh boy. And then Jabs, yeah, I saw him come in. He got the connection. Hid behind the trees with a Meteor Hammer landing. Crit was near, but couldn't stop it. And this deep ward, kind of cool from Talon here in that northern jungle. Going to be watching and protecting the push on the mid tier 1.
Yeah, he's being sneaky with it. Could see a Ravage here.
Up there, the Earth Spike misses from Crit. Ravage is decent, catching the Wind Ranger. I'll come in with Q and take Abed down. Bat and Lion both slipping away from this, but now it's a pretty big signal here that Talon have brought the numbers to kill the tower.
Yeah, they also pinged that there's, they must have a ward behind, but they don't actually. It's not warded on that cliff. It's just the ward that you pointed out instead that they have, allowing them to play pretty aggressively like this. And Jab's gonna find what he wants. The mid tier 1 tower getting Meteor hammered up.
Saberlight's TPing in here, starting out with a crit stun. Mikoto caught up in the chakram and a 3-man flame break. Damage over time starting to stack up on Talon, but they just lack that punch, Shopify.
Yeah, they don't really have enough to take the fight into all of them there. Even though Enigma is not level 6 yet, they're still tanky enough to just back out there quite safely. And during this time, both the carries happily just farming, as we see Arteezy in the jungle working on his item progression, and at the same time, 23 got his Yasha.
Yeah, slow and steady. Build up the stat items and get yourself ready.
Dire are scanning.
23, gonna back away from these TB illusions. We've got plenty of jungle camps to fall on as Saberlight found by Q and Mikoto. And in this period of the game, every kill that Tiny's able to get involved in is that Blink Dagger comes up a little faster.
Yeah, it's very important for him to keep enabling his mid player as well. Mikoto finding a lot of these moves with the Rod of Atos, with the Tiny, helping out a little bit. He's able to bring so many heroes down quickly.
Squealing of pigs everywhere. Multiple pig poles. And reeing around. And Abed and Fly on the back foot, running away from Q, who tries to tumble over the tree line, but a good attempt. It's unsuccessful.
Yeah, for now it looks like Talon are doing a great job just playing in the field that they have, taking away the tier 1 top tower and the tier 1 mid. They're currently getting a little bit bigger piece of the cake here and allowing 23 to farm Ancients while they're using top part of the map for Tidehunter.
It's Tiny's causing issues for them. And now you've got the threat of the black hole as well from Ollie. If you walk into these engagements where Talon have vision or they're set up on a high ground, it can get nasty quick. Nice to see Shopify, kind of mirroring the movement though, sending 4 heroes down bottom. A bit more of a safeguarded area where they can get some ward coverage down.
Yeah, it's nice, but at the same time, that puts Arteezy in a little bit of a dangerous spot farming top area. For now, he hasn't been spotted, but if he walks into Ollie here, could be dangerous.
Yeah, the Enigma spots him.
Jabs behind him.
Flurry of pings. That is Jabs coming in from the south
TPs?
side.
Nobody wants to help him?
No, nobody's coming. Now they'll start arriving, but with the Black Hole and Kisses and the Ravage, they connect on the Timber and the Lion as well in the back. The TPs came too late. The Power Rangers weren't in time to save the TB, but maybe they can kill off Q. Tiny, half HP, rooted up. They'll get one. But a pretty disastrous event for Shopify. I mean, Saberlight, he's moved forward aggressively, getting cookied and rooted, and he's gonna die.
This is just, I don't know. Either you save him there, or you don't. I feel like they tried to do both there, like, oh, we don't need to TP to help him, we're controlling bottom part of the map, and then Arteezy's like, help, guys, I can live if you help me. Which he could, but it wasn't in time. Oh my.
Now, quick pick from Mikoto. Wait, what is that? Four kills for nothing?
Yeah, four kills. It wasn't completely for nothing. They got Tiny, but it feels like it's for nothing because they could have mass TP'd there and saved him if they just did it immediately. And I feel like he was spotted and chased for about 7 seconds without any reaction.
Yeah, I mean, this Shopify side, they feel demoralized right now. And Talon is starting to walk over them. It's not running or trampling or anything. It's just this slow, steady advance as they catch Abed in that river near the rune spot. Stone gazed up. Mikoto and 23 surround him. Abed not even going to get a deny on the arcane.
Yeah, he tried.
That chat wheel line, that tells the story of this game. This series, in fact.
Could be worse. Oh, wait. No, it couldn't. Yeah, this game really feels dire right now, and top tower is close to falling as this Tidehunter has just made home up here. Using his Meteor Hammer, he's gonna keep taking this tower down. It's about to fall.
Whittling away. Someone's pinging it. There's no saving it, though. And that was Talon, expending a lot of their big teamfight ultis. And usually we'd be talking about this being a window for Shopify to get out on the map, smoke gank, try and find something. But there's still this brick wall. You said they were the unstoppable force. Now they are the unstoppable force and the immovable object on the map.
Yeah, they're both, and I feel Shopify Rebellion, they never really managed to make this transition to play bottom and try to open up the map a little bit more. They've just been stuck mid trying to play into Talon, which they've been using their big team fights, all those team fight ultis. At bottom we see another fight.
This is a decent catch on Q. Lassoing back towards Arteezy. In comes Jabs, and the Ravage is ready again. With the kisses over, Arteezy's getting blown up, but against the Sunder onto Jabs. Ollie will start to chase the TB down as Mikoto pounces forward with a cookie. They trade out TB for Tiny and
there's
Fly.
A blink. Can he get him?
He's solving.
Good prediction.
Jabs, God. And he gives it to the Deucer as well. That is just chef's kiss perfection.
Jabs honestly has played amazing this game. He has done a great job. What a captain here, both
on a Tide.
Yeah, his Tide. I mean, Tide is not the flashy hero. It's usually not the hero we look towards for the big plays. But he really has been delivering, man. The Ravages have been good. He has had very, very strong pressure on both top and mid tower. And again, there, even in the clutch little moments. Oh, look at Medusa. No, don't let him steal all this.
Oh, Saberlight, get as many as you can. They'll mana drain 23,
greedy,
and he
though.
is alone here. Jabs is coming up the ramp. They get a kill on Abed top with Q and Makoto, but 23 Savage is standing his ground. Shopify, they can't fight into him. Fly is nearly dying. Saberlight's on the run. Mystic Snake gonna bounce in there. Shopify not gonna lose any more.
And now they're gonna pressure mid, losing, or pressure bottom a bit, losing their mid player as well. Up top, this game is just disaster all over the place. It is looking just as bad as last game, Gareth.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I blacked out also. Oh god. RTZ, the cookie misses. Avalanche and the kisses. They're still going to kill him off. But I don't know, I feel like I blacked out because we had a fight top where they spent Black Hole, Ravage, Kisses, and then they're fighting bottom with Ravage and Kisses again. It feels like there's no stopping Talon.
Yeah, they are honestly just dominating the field. I don't know exactly what is going on the side of Shopify Rebellion, but I do think a lot of it comes down to that first fight where Arteezy was being chased and they decided to not help him. Then they did decide to help him, took the fight and absolutely lost it. Ever since then, they can't get any move going.
Crit in behind enemy lines here. Radiant Vision, again this ward from Talon, right? They've used it from the Dire side, used it from the Radiant side, keeping tabs on that bottom bounty rune, and sees Crit moving all the way down here. A little boing, tumbling over. Q, gonna find him in the trees. Unlock another kill from Makoto.
Okay, not super clean, but they do get it. Eventually, Crit is gonna go down here. But to bring it back to also difference in execution, like, think back to when the jump happened bottom. It was on the Tiny, right? They catch Tiny, and we say, oh, that's a nice catch. But the TP reaction was instantaneous. The moment they see him go, them go on Tiny, they TP in, and they punish it very heavily.
Wagga, this Medusa is very scary.
Yep, she's looking at a fantastic timing on her butterfly here. She has the gold already for a full butterfly at 18 minutes with Manta Style. Even some gold to spare.
Ollie, he's got a blink black hole. He says hello to TB and then they say goodbye. Arteezy with a well-played spam just doesn't have anywhere to be on this map. They can't get a foothold. They're just slipping.
Arteezy basically got killed by two supports there. The snap did come in and, you know, yoink KS that, but he was dead to just the combo of the Tiny and Enigma.
Oops a daisy. 22-6. 19 minutes in. Top 3 net worth, all Talon.
Next tower to be threatened, and I don't see how they can team fight. They have really nice vision on Dire. That's the one thing going for them. Their wards are nicely placed. Crit has done a good job along with Fly to get them some intel, but all they can see is that, yep, we don't own this, you know? Look at all these lands, Simba. We don't own them.
The shadow over the lands. Saberlight tossed back, about to die, and there's the anchor smash. But yeah, I don't know. I think Fly's got to try and finish this one off. They need some kind of, I don't know, pentagram, a satanic ritual on the map with a ward placement to summon some kind of Cthulhu demon lord to save them from this game.
Yeah, you probably need to turn to Crit then, since he's on the Lion. He's been to hell and back. Maybe he knows some higher or lower power, I suppose, who could help them out here.
Some dire magic.
I don't know. This is very, very grim. And Arteezy has queued up 3 Midases. He changed it now to Diffusal. He's gotta love Arteezy though.
Yeah, well, he's wondering himself, like, what is going to change this game? What item is going to win us a fight, win us this match? Can we look for here and now? Can we look towards the future? Do we look back at the draft, you know?
I don't know. I think this is all execution. The execution has been really, really good from Talon. And even though Shopify Rebellion, I think their draft is playable. Oh, the smoke out here. Yeah, look for a pick-off. They do have the blink from Batrider. Maybe they can get a good start.
Try and find something. Anything. Tiny. Lasso. Oh, jabs. Beautiful. He connects on them all. This might just be it, honestly. With his reinitiation here, they'll kill off Saberlight. Fly's bat's gone. Good game is called. Shopify are out of here.
Yeah, they call it, and that puts them at a loss 2-0 in this matchup. And I'm not sure, Gareth, but doesn't that spell that they are mathematically out? I'm not sure, but I think that Shopify Rebellion, they will be 0-4-2 now. And 2-4-0 at least is guaranteed through in Quest Esports case. We'll see. We'll see what the updates to, but I don't think that they have great chances here to advance.
No, I think they're looking at potential tiebreakers because TSM and Tundra are also down there, like 0-2-3, 0-3-2. So maybe if they lose their last couple of games, we have 3 or 4-way tiebreakers. What Shopify are hoping for. Not a great spot to be in though. And do they have a series yet to play? Shopify have one more to go?
Yeah, Shopify have one more to go. They're not mathematically out. It's a bad spot, but since TSM and Tundra currently only have 3 or 2 points, they're also down there at the bottom, and they have the... But it depends on how the TSM and Tundra game go, since they both have 2 games remaining, and Shopify only has 1 game left.
Yeah, so Shopify have to go up against Aster.
And get a win, pretty much. Good
luck. Yeah, kind of out of their hands for the most part there in Group B. I do watch some of these highlights. I mean, it's just Talon highlights, isn't it? Watch some Talon players kill some Shopify heroes.
Watch Jabs just have perfect positioning all the time on his Tide and get the big ravages when his team needs it and just oppress the enemy team. I think, for me, Jabs is the standout player here, even though definitely everybody pulled their own weight by far. I think Jabs just did more than you would ever expect a Tide Hunter to do in this series or in this game here.
Yeah, absolutely spot on stuff. And that rounds out our regulation play for today. But we've got a couple of highlights, a couple of plays of the day, as we can take a look at what's been happening on some of these other streams and in some other games. Tundra against Liquid here.
With the techies.
Oh, yeah. A wall dropped on them. That false promise onto Zai, maybe giving Liquid a turnaround play. And Mickey comes back in and looks like he's going to start cleaning up.
Yeah, that Monkey King popping off.
I tried to start a fight. I just weren't expecting Insania Oracle to be backing them up.
Nice
Oracle,
team fights.
such a fun hero when you find a draft spot for him. It feels awkward to draft Oracle, but you get him in the last pick or something, or a counter. It can feel very good.
We got the Coroner's Choice. See? Going in with the Meeple, Snapfire Kisses.
This is that LGD against EG game from earlier on.
Yeah.
Shiro's Terrorblade just shreds into them around this Roche Pit fight.
Even stacking a Mega Meepo is not going to help you here. They just couldn't fight into it. Trying to bring down the Tombstone, not going to be enough. And an Ultra Kill for Shiro that led to an easy Roche right after.
Our favourite save of the day, presented by Dr. Suleiman Al-Habib. As we have Talon against Shopify. What was the save here?
Ooh, crit! He's alive! And also the Shadow Amulets. The Shadow Amulets. This is the big save on the Storm. The Shadow Amulet play to keep him alive. He jukes, gets away from the wolves. Artesia really wants to kill, even after the lasso, but no.
Getting danced around. Makoto, the ballerina, just pirouetting on his opponents. There we go, rounding out day 3 of the group stage. Talon taking the 2-0 victory in our last series of the day. And that wraps things up for us. So make sure, get yourself well rested. Maybe pop over to some of the other streams if they've got games going on. But for us, that's a good night and see you tomorrow.
Dragging us down, face on the ground. Still we so proud, just look at the crowd. Making some noise, making some sound. We got a choice, they're hearing us now. Paradise through dirt in our eyes for us. Oh, wealthy, I'll try.